What's up, guys? I'm Federico. Usually I do videos in Italian, but today I decided to make a video in English, so hopefully a wider spectrum of people will see my video. And I'm gonna talk about something, some considerations that I've already done about the Pope election, okay? The CONCLAVE. It will happen in the next few days. I already spoken about that in Italian, okay, but I wanted to basically repeat some considerations, my thoughts about the election, what can happen, how can be, what's the strategy, okay, around the church. I'm Italian, okay, I'm not Catholic, I'm not anything, I'm not Christian related, but I know how the stuff works, okay, and I've lived in Italy for basically all my life. Now I'm in Seattle. I'm studying at the University of Washington aerospace engineering, so I know some stuff that maybe American cannot understand or didn't realize, okay. So let's start. Basically, the Pope election, it's called the conclave, okay? Because in Latin, con is like with, and clave is with the key, okay? Because there was a period of time, a lot of years ago, where when basically the cardinals were not able to decide a pope, okay? And the church didn't have a pope for 3 years. Okay, so they said, let's close all the cardinals, okay, inside a room and close them with a key. So that's where it comes from. And it's the Pope election takes place in the Vatican City, in a specific building, the Sistine Chapel. It's basically like a famous building inside the Vatican. And only, I don't know if you guys know that, but only cardinals who are younger than 80 years old. It means that if you are 80 years old plus 1 day, you cannot participate. You cannot become. No, what is that? No, you cannot vote. You cannot vote for the Pope election. So if you are 81 years old, you cannot vote. You cannot have you cannot say anything inside the election, okay, about the Pope. It means that you can talk with other cardinals, you can express your ideas, but you cannot. Your vote is not relevant. You cannot vote. You cannot be inside the room at the moment of the election. Now, there are a few cardinals. We all know that the former Pope, may he rest in peace, even though I didn't like him. I think that he did some I don't want to say bad stuff, but it was he came up, especially from an Italian point of view, okay, because I was there when I saw the election. I saw people speaking about the Pope. There were really high expectations about this Pope Francis, and in my opinion, my personal opinion, there are some people that love him and stuff. In my personal opinion, he first of all didn't satisfy those expectations, okay. I think he did way less than what people were expecting 10 years ago, first of all. And second of all, the church now is going towards a clear direction, which is a very progressive direction. Pope Francis was really progressive, okay, from this perspective. And now we have to consider that because it's important to understand how the election will go, okay, which direction. We have to understand that Pope Francis elected a ton of cardinals, okay, inside the church. It means that during the new elections, okay, the progressive or cardinals which are associated with the Pope Francis idea, okay, will have the majority inside the room. It means that, for example, I'm with 100 people, okay. I know that 80 of those 100 people, okay, are my friends, okay. it's more likely that when I'm gone away, they will be associated with someone who has my same ideas rather than the complete opposite. You see what I'm saying? Like Pope Francis elected on purpose cardinals, okay, who are more likely to be on the same wavelength, okay? So inside the room there are gonna be like the majority of cardinals, which are, we can call them progressive, okay, related to the church. Doesn't like the politics doesn't influence the progressiveness of the church or conservatism. And now I see like different scenarios coming back to the election. I think that progressive have an advantage, okay, because it's like a mathematical advantage, as I just described. And but we have to take in some consideration a series of events that can happen. First of all, the major like cardinals, which is more likely to become the Pope, is this Asian cardinal. I think it's from Philippines. I don't remember the name, but basically it's called the Pope Francis of Asia because it's really like associated with Pope Francis' idea. Okay, it's really progressive. It's really inclusive, and it's very, 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 very notorious inside the like crew of progressive and liberal cardinals. Okay, one of the reasons why I see like this cardinal become the Pope is that in Asia we know that the church can do really, really well. Now, like Christianity, Catholic in particular, are doing very, very good in Asia. They are converting like a ton of people. Like history talks. I mean, wherever like a monotheistic religion goes, it wins. If there is in a place like polytheistic religion, okay, and if a monotheistic arrives, the monotheistic religion in the long run always win. There is no one exception where like a polytheistic religion survived surrounded by monotheistic religion. Like if there is like very, very small communities. In any event, this is the reason why I think that the strategy of the church now is to like try to defeat, and not try to defeat, but basically try to aim to a more like, let's all clear, Europe is becoming Islamized, okay? In Europe, people are not following the church anymore, okay? And I can say it for sure. I can say it for sure because I lived in Italy for 20 years of my life, and I've been like going around all over Europe, okay? So I know how it works, and like there is no gap, okay, to try to make people, especially young people, come closer to the church. For this reason, I think that the cardinals is gonna be extra Europe. It means that the new Pope is gonna be not related to Europe, okay? So one other scenario that I can see is basically a Pope from like Africa. There are like a bunch of black cardinals, which I really like, especially Robert Serra, this like black cardinal from Nigeria or some places like that. The point about like African cardinals is they tend to be really, really, really conservative, okay? And for the reason that I expressed before, I don't see like how conservative can win instantly, okay? One of the scenario that I can see inside the room, okay, during the election is they're gonna vote. First of all, the first day they're gonna vote once, okay? The first day of conclave. From the second day on, they're gonna vote 2 times a day. Usually, it's almost impossible that the Pope is gonna be elected at the first election, okay? So usually, it's likely to expect like a few days, around like 1 week. In the first week of conclave, we shall know who's the Pope, and the point is like the scenario that I thought about is conservatives don't have the majority yet to win, okay? So it's really difficult that the conservatives are gonna win like straight away the first few elections. I think it's like an impossible scenario, really unlikely. At the same time, around the progressive have the majority, but there are a lot of like factions, inside the progressive. So there are people that may like the Asian Pope that I just described. There are some other people that might like. There's like a famous Italian cardinal who has a lot of followers. He's a really expert in the church. Everybody knows him. So there can be like 10 people like him, 10 people like this other, 30 people like this other. Also because we don't need, like, it's important to understand that to elect a pope you don't need to have like 50% plus one of the cardinals, but you need to have 2/3. So it's called like absolute majority, which is like way different, because I don't want to say BS, but I think that inside the church, like the election will take place with 120-ish cardinals. That's the, like, around 100, more than 100, like from 100 to 130, something like that. So we can consider, like, even like, you know, it's important. Every vote is important because you need to reach at least like 80 cardinals to be able to elect a pope, which is a lot. So if a group of people are not convinced, and this group like is around like 10 people, it's a lot. So you need to have like a very, very big majority to do so. And the issue why I'm saying I'm not sure that a progressive pope is going to be elected is because if they keep going with election, there are like two scenarios. A very progressive pope is not elected, so people in the progressive area are gonna say, no, I don't like him, I don't want to elect this pope, I'm never gonna vote for him. Otherwise they can reunite and say, okay, my preference, the perfect pope that I see for the church is not gonna be elected. I still vote him, like another candidate that I don't like, but is in the same like wavelength, it has the same perspective of how the direction the church should go. In other words, still in progressive or like conservative can say, I don't like this cardinal, but I still vote another cardinal in the progressive like party, in the conservative party, in a way that like the church is gonna go in that direction. So that's a thought that cardinals can do. One other scenario, which is not really unlikely, so it's very possible that will happen, like going on, if the first day is not elected, second day, third day, first week is not elected, there is a problem, and like cardinals can say, let's find a midway, let's find a cardinal that is not related to the conservative and neither the progressive, which is like a perfect midway. Maybe it's more diplomatic. Figures like that are called it's called like curia. It's called curia, Curia. It's basically cardinals that have administrational power inside the Vatican, cardinals that like do kind of politics, are inside economics, are inside business with other nations, are inside like peace. For example, there is like a very famous Italian cardinal that like has been behind the Ukraine-Russian war for the past 3 years, and like bureaucracy, related to bureaucracy. And those people are usually considered to be, first of all, very smart because they are in really important like roles, like really important positions inside the church. And second of all, they are considered to be really neutral, because otherwise they will make like preferences, which is not good. So they are kind of neutral, so they are like kind of midway, and it's not impossible that going on with the elections can be elected a cardinal, which is as I was saying, kind of a midway. And if we arrive at this point, I cannot really say who is going to be elected because there are like a ton of these people. But yeah, I don't want to say that it's difficult, but it's, I don't know, like the point is that the progressives are much more than the conservative in this election. So it's difficult, in my opinion, that a conservative cardinal is gonna be elected straight away. That's the only scenario that it's hard to envision. okay? It's more likely for the same reasoning that like a conservative cardinal can be elected going on with the elections, okay? Because maybe they have like, let's speak clearly, they all know each other, okay? There are like 200 cardinals in the world, like 250, I don't know, like something like that. They more or less know each other, like the important cardinals know each other, period. There is no way, or also because like you have to consider like to become a cardinal, you must have like in almost every situation, if you're in Europe for sure, you have like some important positions inside the church. So you have been working with your IOR, which is the Vatican bank, or you have been working like in bureaucratic positions. So you have been able to like know other cardinals, know other people. So like more or less, okay, you might not know someone personally really well, okay, even because like usually they are like in different parts of the world, but you've heard for sure like different ideas and different perspective about different opinions about like some cardinals, okay. So what's the point of this discussion? Yeah, so someone that is like kind of unknown might have time during the conclave, since they are all close in this building, to basically let other people know about him, and he can like acquire votes going on with the election. That's what I'm saying. Like, if we go on with the election, it becomes more and more unpredictable, okay? Because some cardinals can have the possibility to kind of express themselves, and they acquire easily votes, okay? So that's really like a key factor, because the accuracy, if the election like goes on in time, becomes lower and lower, meaning that we don't know, like everything can happen. On the other hand, my prediction, like if the election is quick, meaning like first week, progressive are more likely to be elected, and the first person all around these progressive is the Asian Pope, because first of all, like as I was saying, Asia is like a really powerful place for Christians to be now. They are expanding their horizon towards Africa. They're putting a lot of efforts. Oh my god, like there's like this oh my god, there's a truck. I don't know if you're hearing the sound. That's a truck. Oh my god. This is a truck. I thought it was a car. That's a truck. Oh my god. So yeah, that's basically what is my prediction. Also, Africa, I was saying Asia, the church is putting a lot of efforts to acquire those places, to be sure to expand the horizon in those places. I don't see any like South American cardinals be promoted as Pope, neither like North American cardinals. European cardinals like more difficult, okay, compared than the others. There is like yeah, because Europeans, like I don't really know. I don't think Europeans I think that can have the a high possibility in case the election goes on in time, because Europe is usually associated with more cardinals with bureaucratic positions, okay, powerful positions, and they can become really important in case the election goes on, and there must be the necessity to find like a halfway between the two. So that's my prediction, guys. I hope this video in English. Sorry if I like made some mistakes or some errors, but I'm driving and I'm also trying to talk about like specific and difficult arguments, okay? So I'm not a native English speaker, but let me know what do you think, and thank you for like watching this video. Let me know if you would like me to talk about something specifically, or have like give you some updates and stuff, and later.